Man, I love Pulp Fiction. Quentin Tarantino, good film directing. Jules Winfield. I mean, he's just. I love Samuel. That's that Hawaiian burger joint. Whoa! Shut the fuck up. What?
This is our top 3 movies from each decade. 70s onto the 2020s.
You're an idiot.
Between the Grooves! What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are having a great day today. We are back. Between the Grooves, the dynamic duo. Am I right? Today, we're going to go a little off from our little music content, you know? We're going to something that we're both into right now, and that's movies.
Logan's into awful takes about movies as well.
I actually have a list of all of Joel's worst takes about movies.
I also have a list of your worst takes.
I think that it's a list that you guys should see. All these movies and all our lists. You can check out the app Letterboxd.
This is not sponsored, but I would love it to be, like, legitimately. That'd be amazing.
The alpha in our relationship, I've showed him this app, and he's been using it for
I'm addicted to do it.
But it's a really good app. You can put movies on your watch list and like track the ones that you watch, like them,
rate them, review them, like write stuff.
It's like a diary for all the movies you watched. It really is, and you can like follow different people, see what they're doing. So yeah, if you want to check out our accounts, I'll have them linked in the description below.
This is not sponsored. The app is just amazing. Please sponsor Letterboxd for watching this. I appreciate it.
But yeah, so we're just gonna go off of that, and so we're gonna start with the 1970s. And we're going to pick our top 3 movies from each decade. We already have it planned out, so we don't have to do much speculation. But, Joel, you want to go first? You big idiot?
My top 3 movies from the 1970s?
I do.
Okay. And from 3 to 1?
No. Yeah. Duh.
Bitch. Okay, number 3. I have... Wait, should I have an honorable... I'm having an honorable mention. At the honorable mention spot, which I have to include for the 1970s because... My top 4 movies from the 1970s. By the way, all these lists we have on our Letterboxd accounts when you check it out. I know you will. The top 4 movies from the 1970s for me are all in my top 10 all time. My honorable mention is The Godfather. Don Vito Corleone, Don Corleone, give me justice.
Shut up.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of...
Michael's better, though. What?
There's going to be a lot of references. My number 3 movie from the 1970s is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest from 1975, starring... Father Jack Nicholson, one of my favorite actors. Really an amazing movie. I find it, one thing I really like, it's so creative. It mostly takes place in a mental institution, just like in one building, but they're able to do so much with the small space. Just a lot of great characters. Danny DeVito's in it.
Yeah.
He's really
I haven't seen it, but...
Yeah, I've been telling you to watch it, but you're kind of dumb. So.
Yeah. I heard it's just like a worse version of Awakenings with... Robin Williams and
I've never seen
De Niro.
Awakenings, but I hear that that's like a worse version. I love Robert De Niro.
I know.
That'll be later on.
I know.
But anyways, the movie, one of the ending is so happy but so sad at the same time. Definitely a movie that made me think over and over. Just really great movie. I highly recommend it. It's just, it's great.
Yeah, all right. So I'll go with my number 3. And I feel like you might know what this one could be. I feel like, I just actually, I was house sitting for a week, came up with my friends.
You don't know for friendship.
They came up to watch Godfather, and he brought the disc for it, and we watched the whole movie. So, The Godfather is my number 3 pick of the 70s.
The experience was awful.
I thought it was alright, because,
Nope.
Because, our friends were being a little bit dickheads. Right,
because they don't understand the great directing,
the smart filmmaking,
cinematography. Marlon Brando, you're quiet when Marlon Brando's on screen.
That's how it should be. But they were just fucking around the whole time. I didn't really get fazed by it, but Joel's ADHD. Angry. He's getting heated up there. But no, it was a really good movie. I thought it was gonna be like overrated. I didn't really think much of it.
When I first saw it, I always thought it was gonna be like that.
Because I didn't really think of much of the storyline or anything like that. Because I thought it was just gonna be like an Italian movie, like an Italian mob gangster movie. I feel like I've seen so many of those. Mm-hmm. But no, it was definitely
really lives up to the hype.
Very entertaining and very intense. Right? Yeah, it just had great moments, and the whole thing was kind of really just really sick.
Nothing to really say about it that hasn't already been said. It's just like if you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. At least the first one. Yeah. My number 2 is a movie that Logan showed me that is left a big impact on me. It's my favorite director, Stanley Kubrick. It's A Clockwork Orange. I'm sure you'll be talking about it in a little bit.
I might be.
I love the movie so much. It's incredible. Alex DeLarge, I mean, the slang language, Viddy Well, Drink Crumb, the Korova Milk Bar,
it's pretty
some
fucked up,
ultra
though.
violence. Most disturbing movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Really leaves you thinking. Most elusive message too. Like there's so many underlying meanings, so many little things. It's just what a great movie.
Yeah.
Malcolm McDowell, great performance. Just another Kubrick masterpiece. It also proves that he was insane.
You got the smile.
You gotta eat the eyelash.
Or is it? Is it like a half grin, like a smirk?
A little bit.
Okay.
Reminds me of like the Psycho grin. Wouldn't even harm a fry.
My number 2 from the 1970s has to be The Exorcist. Now, Joel hasn't seen this because he's a fucking bum, but like I'm sure all of you guys have seen The Exorcist. It's one of the most classic horror. It is the most classic horror movies of all time, probably.
That's so funny.
But
you're a funny guy.
I know. The Exorcist, like, really classic horror movie. I feel like if you're watching this, you definitely at least heard about it. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely recommend, but, be prepared if you aren't used to horror movies, because, like, I was pretty desensitized to horror movies, and it still, like, spooked me out a bit.
Logan's been slowly getting me into horror movies, so that'll probably be up next on the list.
It's really good. Great story. Really scary moments. Really good. Suspenseful.
Scary for the time, too.
Yeah.
For, 73?
It's not just a horror movie. It's got so much different, like, things to it. But, yeah, that's my number 2.
So moving on to my number 1.
Yeah, let's hear it.
This movie has left such an impact on me from the first day I saw it. Like, I'm getting chills thinking about it. I'm serious. Apocalypse Now, 1979. What I believe to be Francis Ford Coppola's magnum opus. Not The Godfather. Apocalypse Now. Marlon Brando as Colonel Kurtz. Martin Sheen as Captain Willard. I mean, the movie is just amazing. I mean, my favorite band is The Doors. You guys know that. It starts with the end and it ends with the end. The movie it's just a constant, like, it just builds up so well. From Captain Willard on the river, just trying to find Kurtz, and when they find each other, just, I don't know, and Kilgore, too, I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
I definitely know what he's talking about.
There's so many, it's like the duality of humans, similar to, like, Full Metal Jacket, just, like, Kilgore, like, loves war, Kurtz, I don't know. There's so many things you can analyze, just really a great movie that it's not just about war, it really isn't, it's just about humanity and humans. It's just a really good movie.
I also
really
haven't watched that one, but I'm definitely gonna get around to it. Because like it's a classic. So my number 1 of the 70s, you've already heard it. It's Clockwork Orange by Stanley Kubrick, the master. But just like Joel said, really great movie. I put him onto this movie, so Yeah. But no, it was mind changing for me when I first watched it, because I was getting into like the more classic type movies, because I didn't really watch older movies.
That was one of the first ones I watched too.
Yeah, and like the whole story was just it was a journey, Like I feel like the first half of the movie I did not understand like half the things that they were saying.
I was thinking about turning it off, and the first thing I was like, I can't watch any more of this.
But then like as it kept going on, it got better, and like it just really showed like a lot about so many like underlying messages that Kubrick always does, just like Joel always loves him for. But it's a really crazy movie, really fucked up. So definitely,
I honestly I don't even know if I'd recommend the movie.
Yeah, I don't know
if you
if you're the faint of heart.
If you're like fine like watching anything, like watch it. But like if you're for the faint of heart, do not watch the movie.
On to the 80s.
The 80s is overrated as a decade.
Dude,
music, fashion.
Okay. Music, definitely.
Movies. Music.
Yeah, music, definitely.
Shit's ass.
Like, it's not
Excuse
that
my
good.
language.
But it's like, it's not that good.
Movies, actually, my number 1 all-time favorite movie is coming up here in segments from the 80s, so I'm going to take that. So, just music and fashion.
But the fashion?
Okay.
You didn't like it?
My number 3 movie from the 80s is, right, previously mentioned, Stanley Kubrick, my favorite director, Full Metal Jacket. Now, this movie...
What's it about?
I mean, everybody knows what it's about. You haven't seen it because, you're not the brightest. So, it's about these people in Vietnam, just these soldiers, they go through boot camp, and then they go, like, into the war. It's really about the duality of just humans. On his helmet, Private Joker, he has a peace symbol, and it says "Born to Kill" on it. It's just duality. Like, it's so weird. Yeah. My favorite part, though, is definitely the boot camp part in the beginning, which also is a reason that this isn't higher, is because that part, I think, is so much better than the actual war part. Because the sergeant, it was a real sergeant, actually.
Really?
And he wasn't originally casted. He was helping film the movie. And then Kubrick was like, whoever they casted originally, I forget his name, was like, Kubrick was like, you can't do this. Yeah. So they get the real sergeant in. Jeez. And he came up with hundreds of insults for these guys. Yeah. He just wrote them down, and it's so funny.
I remember
it's really funny.
I remember like scrolling through like my channels like years ago when I was really little, and like Full Metal Jacket came on the TV, and I saw like it was the clip of it was like the drill sergeant was screaming at the things, and that was before I watched any like swearing movies, and it was like
he's just going, it was
traumatizing.
Awful.
Yeah. My number 3, I'm sure most of you guys have heard of it. Another horror movie. You guys gonna know by the end of this video that I'm definitely into horror movies. But number 3, The Shining, also by Kubrick.
We love Kubrick, baby.
But yeah, I mean,
love you, Stanley.
This movie is just Jack Nicholson. Oh my god,
I love Jack.
He's amazing. I didn't even know what to say. It's just a really classic horror movie. You can't go wrong with The Shining. It's
good movie.
It's really intense. It's like bone chilling, and just
it's so like thrilling.
It's really
it really is like a
and
thriller.
the story.
You're an idiot.
Storyline of it is it's really cool too, and like the kind of like the mystery, like staying with the ending, all that stuff. There's so much to the plot and the story. Yeah, it's a really great like horror story. Yeah. That's like it's original. It's like I feel like
Stephen King book, so it's classic already.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know my number 2 is a classic, but a little controversial what I picked. Indiana Jones, not Raiders of the Lost Ark, actually The Last Crusade, which is better. So this movie just...
You seem to like is Lost Ark like a sequel?
Raiders of the Lost Ark is the first one.
You seem to like sequel or
I like sequels
like Toy Story 2 and
shit
like that.
This is the third one. That's my favorite. Yeah. This is commonly associated as, the second Indiana Jones Temple of Doom is not one of, like, the top 2 of the 4. It's Crusade and Raiders of the Lost Ark. I like Crusade. I love, like, The Penitent Man Shall Pass. I love Finding the Holy Grail. It's really cool. Sean Connery's in it. Just, like, a really classic, nostalgic movie. I always grew up with it. I always would check it out at, like, the video stores. I've grown up with it. I love Harrison Ford. It's just a classic.
Yeah, nostalgia has everything to do with it.
That's one of the most nostalgic movies for
me. That really depends on
Indiana Jones.
That really shows
Star Wars.
If you like the movie a lot, that really shows how much you like it based on the nostalgic value.
I really like that series of movies though, because it's like really nostalgic and it's like critically acclaimed too. Like it's just a good set of movies.
So my number 2 is another movie that I told Joel to watch that he hasn't, but it's Dead Poet Society starring Robin Williams. And I think great, you would love it. Great. It's really this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like this is the number 2 in one spot for this decade, probably up in there with my like top 3 movies of all time.
So your top 2 for the 80s could be your like top 2. Like,
yeah, they could be. But Dead Poet Society, it was really heavy of a watch, and I didn't expect that. It kind of like. It's one of those movies,
right?
Yeah. But it's one of those movies that like changed my perspective on things, but changed my perspective on life. There's so much hidden between or like underneath the the surface of the movie. Like there's so much more to read into. There's so much more happening, and there's
sounds
more.
Like something I'd like.
Yeah. It's really heavy. I didn't expect it. But crazy shit happens, and I love the Carpe Diem. That's the main thing that stuck out from that movie too, is Carpe Diem. I can't tell you everything about it because Joel hasn't watched it.
Is that like from the you have that like bracelet, don't you?
Yeah, it's basically like living to your fullest. Basically,
yeah. Is that like a big like theme in that?
Or yeah,
I'd say very interesting.
And it's like, I love that movie.
So on to my number 1. Now my number 1 is like a big surprise. I mean, not the director because it's Kubrick, but I'm not a big horror guy. I don't really think this movie's scary. It was already mentioned by Mr. Logan. The Shining happens to be my favorite 80s movie and my favorite movie ever. It is my favorite movie of all time.
That's crazy.
So the story behind this for me is, I had never really watched a lot of classic movies. Like, I'd watch, like, Star Wars and stuff. I didn't dive, like, into stuff like The Shining.
Same.
So I went through the AFI Top 100, which it's not on that, but I went through that and other lists with my dad, and we picked out movies. He's like, watch this and this. And the first movie I picked out was The Shining. I've seen, like, Family Guy, like, parodies, like, the little girls in the hallway. Like, I've seen so much stuff. I was like, I gotta watch The Shining.
Yeah.
And, like, I was blown away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even... You know, that's my favorite movie. I don't really talk about that movie, though.
Yeah,
I can't really say anything about it. It's like, it's mind-blowing. To me, someone told me, I told them to watch it and they thought it was boring, and I just don't think that's right. I think the build-up to see, it's a build-up to see his downfall.
Yeah.
To see him go insane. And it's just, Jack Nicholson, I think, delivers one of the best performances ever in a movie. Again, it has underlying messages, but it's just such a thriller, so suspenseful, just really an amazing movie, my favorite movie of all time.
And I'm telling him, I'm like, you gotta watch, like, Dr. Sleep, which just came out not too long ago.
Yeah, I have not seen that, actually.
I think you would really like it.
And Ewan's in. I love Ewan McGregor.
It would really, it just takes a story to a whole other
just
step.
like a good, does it wrap it up in the good? Like, just...
I can't remember. It was like a while. It was like a couple of years ago.
Cliffhanger. I can't do it.
Oh, I don't know if it's a cliffhanger, but like it's based off the Stephen King book, so it's nothing.
Which is the follow-up book to The Shining. Right?
But it's really, I loved it. It's like a sequel.
Do justice?
It does justice, and it's just like I think the storyline is cool. Can't really remember how it ends, but it's got to do with this, like The Shining, you know. But all right.
Good movie. Good film directing.
So now we're on to my number one spot. And this is probably my favorite movie of all time.
I've never seen it.
Joel's convinced me.
I've never seen it. I did convince you, though, that's your favorite.
Because I can't, it's really hard for me to pick a favorite movie.
It's recorded on my DVR, okay? I told you.
You gotta watch it.
I gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it with me.
I'll watch it with you.
You wanna watch it with me?
Yeah, I'm down. Come over.
But, okay. But, so, Stand By Me. It's like, for me, it's kind of a movie that sparked everything else in my life, almost. Like, everything else with music and movies and that type of shit. But it kind of just started my whole journey, especially through music, because that soundtrack put me onto 50s music. And then through 50s music, I explored all other, because before that, I exclusively listened to, like, some, like, rap and shit. But, no, Stand By Me, I watched that when I was really young, probably, like, 4th grade or something like that. I loved it because all the characters in it were my age, and it's kind of their journey. So that movie has a lot to do with nostalgia for me. It's definitely not like it's critically acclaimed, but it's definitely not like as good of a like movie as the other movies that I like. But it's mostly nostalgia, and it kind of just like I have to appreciate it for what it has done for me. And like I love the story. I can watch it. Just reminds me of good times, you know, and it always will.
My number 3 for the 90s is Casino by another one of my favorite directors, Martin Scorsese. I'm a big Italian guy. I'm 25%, so...
Wait, tell me about your name. Tell me about your name.
Oh, I was almost named Pasquale, which is like my great-grandfather's name.
Pasquale.
That's a cool name, dude.
It's a pretty cool name.
My middle name's Dominic, though, so like I get some Italian name.
Yeah.
So, that's my 3, Casino. Has my favorite actor in it, Robert De Niro. Also has Pesci. It's literally Goodfellas, but 4 years later and in Vegas. Just a really good movie. That movie, like, it's 3 hours long, and you're on the edge of your seat the entire time. And starring Sharon Stone, who just is like the wife that kind of goes in between De Niro and Pesci, who were best friends in the movie. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's a crazy movie. It's really good. If you like Scorsese, mobster movies, anything like that, really good movie. I highly recommend it.
My number 3 is Dazed and Confused. This was actually on Quentin Tarantino's most favorite movies of all time.
Big Tarantino guy.
But yeah, no. I watched this probably like last summer for the first time, and it really puts you in that summer mood. You know, it's a fucking classic. Really good feel-good movie. Probably the best feel-good movie I've ever seen. Especially it's like, most of these movies, I like them based on where I am in my life. And like, obviously when I was like in 4th grade, I loved Stand By Me, but when I'm in high school, I love Days of Confused, you know, because it's kind of just you can relate to it, you feel more connected to the movie and the characters. But I love this movie. I loved all the characters, Randy Pink Floyd, and it's just they're memorable characters, I would say, and like, you know, you form connections with them, you like you see like yourselves in them, kind of, you know.
Yeah, you really
and
do.
Like it's just really cool, and it's just shows the time really well too. I like how they made it.
I remember when you showed me that movie, I just thought it was a really good, feel good movie. It really sets the vibe for.
It really does. It does.
Really good movie. My number 2 for the '90s is actually Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino.
Wait,
what?
Mine is also Pulp Fiction.
Wait, I forgot that that's our. Should we both like combine?
Yeah.
That's that Hawaiian. I love Pulp Fiction. It's beautiful.
I know you do.
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides. That's all.
A nerd.
Yeah.
But yeah, our both is number 2. Our both number 2 spot
Good
is
movie.
Pulp Fiction.
Really good movie.
You know, I mean, obviously it's an amazing movie if we both have it.
It's
number
clearly
2.
not that iconic.
But everyone's probably heard of it. You know,
it's just so good.
I didn't know anything
just
about
great.
it like before I watched it. You know, I don't think any summary of it could do justice to it because like you can't really describe it.
There's not really like a main.
Set in
I mean,
plot.
I guess there is like kind of a plot, but like not really.
It's
like a couple different stories.
If you tell the plot like for what it is, it sounds so lame.
Yeah, it's
you
just
know?
like a briefcase.
Yeah.
That, like a guy wants.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and like, but it's just the journey of it and like all the characters.
It's hard to
all
think
that
of like
shit.
how groundbreaking it was because like if you know about Pulp Fiction, you probably know that it's like split up and it's like the story is like not all like some stuff is mixed and it's not in the right order.
Yeah.
So that's like such like a weird approach by Tarantino, but it's so creative and it really is kind of groundbreaking. What a refreshing take. That movie, I mean, I hadn't seen it fully till like this year, but I remember growing up around it a lot. Like my parents and my brother, like that's like one of their favorite movies. Like my entire family loves that movie. And I mean, Samuel L. Jackson
in the
as
family.
Jules Winfield is like one of my favorite performances ever. I mean, the movie's just really, it's so vibey too. Like it's just a really cool movie. My number 1 is, I said earlier that The Shining is my favorite movie. This is definitely a very close second. Like
Very.
Like on a good day, I could be like, I like this more. It is Goodfellas, which I previously mentioned. I'm a big,
dude.
Don Corleone. I mean, that's a different movie.
Overrated.
You're a funny guy, you know. You're a funny guy. Listen, I know he's partly messing with me. He does this. He's actually partly being serious. I can't even address it. Please be quiet, okay? I Stand By Me, all the garbage nonsense, overrated.
Dude.
Goodfellas, for me, is really like, it's almost like a comfort movie for me, which is kind of weird.
It is weird.
That's weird for me to say, but like, I feel like I could watch that movie, I could put it on at any time, and I'd be in a good mood. Like, it's just, I love all the little stuff, like, he tips the people in the restaurant. He goes through the back door. They bring a table for him. I love when Paul Cicero cuts the garlic. You know, he had this wonderful system. He used a razor. He sliced it so thin that it would liquefy in the pan with just a little oil. You know, I thought he used too many onions, but it's still a very good sauce.
What is wrong with
just
you?
little things. The movie reminds me of some of my family members, like my Italian family members, like my grandpa. Like, that movie really holds a special place in my heart. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. I love De Niro's my favorite actor. Pesci delivers an amazing performance. Funny how I love the movie. I love it. I'm gonna let
It's basically just the mob.
I just love the movie.
Basically just like
True
the mob
story.
killing each other.
You gotta watch it.
You know, my number 1 from the 1990s, it's gotta be The Truman Show.
I've never
starring
seen it.
Jim Carrey. Of course you haven't seen it. You haven't seen any good movies. All right. You've seen The Goodfellas. Oh, I like them all. Oh, blah, 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 blah. You know, blah, 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 The Godfather. Oh, Italians. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Don Vito Corleone. Shut up. So, like,
You don't have
Truman Show.
You don't have a friendship. You don't even think to call me Godfather.
Shut up. The Truman Show, if you guys haven't seen it,
I've never seen it.
it's a wonderful movie. It's a wonderful movie. Yes, Papa Jim is in the movie. But yeah, it's basically about I can't really say what's about it because it's about Jim Carrey, his character. It's basically, or Truman. It's basically grown up his whole life as a star in a TV show. Mm-hmm. You know, and everyone that he thinks are real people are just characters in the show, actors paid to be by him and be his wife and all his family members. He doesn't know anything about himself except for what the director has put into it. And so that's basically his story, and it's kind of his story of figuring that out. And it's really, really heavy. And
it's been coming up for me on my list to watch.
Yeah, it's just it's a heavy watch. It's got a lot of underlying meanings to it. You know, it's really intense at times and happy, and it's really funny too, because like Jim Carrey can just make anything funny. Mm-hmm. But in this movie, he's one of his more sadder roles or sadder characters at least. But yeah, I think it's really worthwhile, especially if you're interested in like the people who are like thinking we're living in a simulation or something like that, like those type of theories. Because I mean, this guy never knew, you know, he just started figuring it out, and I think that's just it's really original.
So I gotta watch that movie now. I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah,
like, that's so weird.
It's a great movie.
I remember like one reason why I want to like watch it soon. I remember I want to see what it's about because I never really knew. So I clicked on the trailer on YouTube. I think I told you this. Yeah. There was a comment, and it was the most liked comment. It was like, don't watch the trailer. You gotta watch it without knowing anything. So like, I gotta watch it soon. You do. I clicked off the trailer. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I figured I should.
Yeah. I think Jim Carrey. You love his performance in it.
Yeah. I do like Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah.
That's the best Christmas movie. You can fight me about it. It's better than Home Alone. I love Home Alone too, though.
Home Alone's amazing. I think that's better.
They're both amazing.
Grinch is pretty scary.
I like the Grinch more. Both respectable picks, though.
They are, but like I loved the Grinch as a kid. Good, don't get me wrong, but it was really scary.
Yeah, it's kind of scary weird.
So we didn't realize how long this video was going on. How long
I talked about Goodfellas for too long, and I apologize.
Now we're just really passionate about music and movies, just like as you can see.
Art.
We do like art.
Can't rush art.
You know, you can't. You really can't. But we had a lot of fun recording this video.
I actually did have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're really glad to be back too.
Yeah, it's glad to be behind the camera.
Yeah, it is nice. I like doing this. And we're sorry that it took so long for you guys, and you guys are waiting on us.
We'll have a part 2 coming soon.
But
don't you worry.
Yeah, we'll have a part 2 of the 2000s to the 2020s, and I think you'll like that list too. Yeah. So remember, check out Letterboxd, check out our profiles. You know, I think it's just if you like movies, and if you obviously like movies if you stay this far into the video.
We'll have to link our accounts.
Yeah, we'll link our accounts, and and check out those movies.
Between the Grooves.
Yeah, Between the Grooves. Peace out.
We're out.